Hello and welcome to this video lesson. I have named it little strange miscellaneous, but that is what I'm going to do in this lesson. You know, these are especially for the beginners, there are few things that confuse them too much. So I thought let's do a lesson on this. So I'll be discussing few operators in it and maybe one or two more things. They will help you, like to understand things better when you are working on calculations and comparing things and like comparing strings. So I hope this lesson becomes quite useful to you. So let's start. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss with you is it really you know confuses a lot of people, and that is this and this. Okay, what is this known as? This is known as an assignment operator, right? And this is known as a comparison operator. Okay, so assignment operator, when I say a is equal to 10, so what am I doing? I am assigning the value of a to 10, which means that the value of a now is 10. So if I print this, it is going to print 10. The same way I can assign, a character to a variable. I can assign a double value to a variable. Okay. I can assign a, let's say, string to a variable. Okay, so single equals to is an operator which is used for assigning a value to a variable. Now what does this fellow do? This is used for comparing. Supposedly I have a value a 10 and then I have a value 20 and I want to compare if they are equal. If I want to compare if they are equal, then this operator is used. Okay, right? So then this operator is used. So this is used for comparing two values. So I'll say if it is equal, system.out.println, both are same, okay, else system.out.println, both are different. Okay, so this makes it clear. So what happens is this is used for comparing two values. Okay, if two values are equal, right? So we can compare, characters. Okay, we can compare all integers. How many types of integers we have in Java? 4: byte, short, int, long, and then floating point types. Right? Floating point types we have two: float and double. Okay, and boolean as well. So these values can be compared. If you look at this chart, I have missed out something. What is that? That is known as a string. So I don't compare the string, right, with the comparison operator. Okay, so what do we use? We use a function which is known as, or a method, equals. Okay, so if I have two names, one is string S and I'll say Sunny, and I have another name string P and I say Honey, right? And if I have to check if they are same, right? So can I use this operator? No, I cannot use this operator, right? So what do? I'll say here S dot EQUALS P, okay? Then I'll say system dot out dot println, both are same, okay? Else system dot out dot println, both are different, okay? Right? So that's how we compare a string, okay? So that's how we compare a string. And in case if you want to avoid the case like small case and like small letters and capital letters, right? So you can avoid that case with ignore case, IGNORE CASE, ignore case P. Okay, so now whether they are in small letters or capital letters, it will ignore the case. And once again, this E is small, this is capital, this C is capital. I told you before, this is known as camel case. In Java, we follow camel case. So the first word, all small. After that, every word will begin with a capital letter, right? So this is equals ignore case. So we can compare numbers using double equals to, okay, even Boolean and character. Why character? Because character are actually stored as numbers. Okay, so we can compare those things. I have told you what all you can compare: integer, floating point types, character, and Boolean. But you cannot compare a string. To compare a string, we have a method which is known as equals. And this is the method which is used for comparing values. Okay. Let's also focus on this. Okay. What do these fellows do? Okay. So what do these fellows do? One is basically known as division operator. The other one is known as, this is division and this is modulus. Okay. So this division operator, what does it do? It gives you what is its return type. It's going to return you, not type, it's going to return you QUOTIENT, and this fellow returns REMAINTER, remainder. Okay, that's what these two do. So this fellow returns the quotient and this fellow returns the modulus, which means if I say S is equal to 10 on 5, okay, if I do that, okay, so what is it going to store in S? Right? It's going to store the quotient. And what is the quotient? 2. Okay. And if I say S is equal to 10 upon 5, use the same thing. And this time I use this modulus operator, the percent sign. What is it going to return? 0, because it doesn't have any remainder. It does not have any remainder, right? So it does not have any remainder. Therefore, it is going to use this. Okay, another example could be, so if 5 upon 10 I write percent, tell me what is the output now? Confused? Well, it is going to give you what? It's going to give you 5. That's the remainder, because 5 cannot be divided by 10. And since this is integer division, we are using integer number. Okay, we are using integer. So computers are dumb. They don't do anything on their own. If you want them to do something, you have to tell them, okay, that you wish to do this. Otherwise, they are not going to do anything on their own. So since this is integer division, it is not going to give anything to you in points. Therefore, the answer is going to be this, because 5 cannot be divided by 10 So whatever remains is the remainder, and 5 is the remainder. Okay, so let's see if we can actually do something here, right? So this is the little, let's practice some of these. And another thing I wanted to tell you is what happens when we print these operators. So I have int a is equal to 10, okay, and I'll take int b is equal to 20, okay. So if I say println and a upon b, okay, guess what should be the answer? I'm saying 10 upon 20, okay. So what is going to be the quotient? Have you guessed? Ten upon 20, what will be the quotient? Come on, it's taking too long. I think something is wrong with my system. It's very slow. 0. Why 0? Because as I told you, this is integer division. This is integer division. So it's not going to happen. So if I make them double or float, double, okay. So I run it. See, it gives you the answer. It doesn't give you 0. And the reason for that is the values that I have used. Okay, so you have to be little careful when it is integer, and mostly we deal with integer. Okay, so it's not going to happen, right? So if I run it again, it'll give you 0. Yes, because 10 cannot be divided by 20, so the quotient becomes 0. Okay, so what happens if I use this modulus operator? So I run it. 10 upon 20 cannot be divided, right? So what's going to happen? It's going to give you 10, that is the remainder. Okay, that is the remainder. Okay, let us see. I'll ask you another thing. What happens if I write this? Will it work? Will it work? Let's see. Of course it works. So they have a return type, all these, operators. So its return type is Boolean because it is a comparison operator. Since A is not equal to B, okay, it's giving false. But if I say A equals to B like this, it is going to print something. So what is it going to print? It is going to print true now because both values are same. Since both values are same, it prints true. Okay. The same thing we can do, like we can say greater than or equal to. Is A greater than or equal to B? Well, it isn't. So what's going to happen? It is, sorry, it is. So it's true. Okay, so if I change the value, I make it, let's say 20 again, and I run. False. Okay, because A is 10, right? And B is 20. A is not greater than or equal to B. Okay, so all these operators will return something. Like if I say A is less than B, yeah, it prints. Okay, it prints. So it prints true over there. So that's